I decided to do this one again, mostly because I originally wanted to do Bubble and Gummy Goo, but then I got burnt out before I got the chance. Now, my favorite character in The Amazing Digital Circus is Bubble. Not for any real reason, I just think that he's funny. And you might think that would make Jax my second favorite character, but it's actually not, because I don't think Jax is funny. I think Jax is sad, like an orphan with no arms or legs. Listen, that's a reference only a few of you are highbrow enough to understand. Anyways, there's honestly not much I can say about Bubble, as a character without getting into my theories and headcanons, because he really doesn't have a lot going on. He's like the one-liner character. That being said, I do think that I think that Bubble used to be a virus of some sort, that Kane, tamed. Like, I don't think that Kane created him, at least not after the beach episode. Yeah. So I decided to make him a Sea-Wing, Ice-Wing hybrid, mostly because the main colors that I managed to color pick, are white and various cool colors, which I think translates to an Ice-Wing pretty well. There was a pink color that I color picked, and I thought that it was pretty and I wanted to use it. But I kind of found a way to make it work with the rest of the design in like an organic way. So R.I.P. Bubble with some pink accents. Isn't that sad? Isn't that grieve what you could have had? Anyways. Yeah. I did end up giving Bubble purple eyes, which I think is really neat. There's honestly not that much I can say about Bubble. Like, Bubble has nothing going on. But I do think Bubble is hilarious and funny and all that shit. Yeah. Anyways, moving on to Gummy Goo, because genuinely not much I can say about Bubble again. I really like Gummy Goo. Okay, Gummy Goo's second favorite character. And I definitely had a very strong vision, to do this, because I wanted to make Gummy Goo a Leaf Wing, because I thought the design would work very well with the Leaf Wing, and you know what? I was right. And I really like Gummy Goo. Now I am a Gummy Goo x Pomni shipper. I think that it is the best option, at least for I think it's the best option, at least for Pomni. It's probably the worst option for the story. It's really not that interesting, but I think it's probably the best, because I think that Gummy Goo, despite not being a real person, is a very good person. He's good. I like him, okay? He's a good guy. He's genuinely so fun. I don't think we're gonna see that much of Gummy Goo later. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see him in these last 2 episodes. I will be pleasantly surprised if we do see him in the last 2 episodes. I think that he's like a 2-off character, but I think what we have of him is so interesting. Like, whenever he was stuck under the map, he was experiencing real emotions, and I think that's a very interesting thing to have explored, at least in this show. It kind of reminds me of Free Guy, because if you've seen Free Guy, blue shirt guy from a shameless GTA copy, gains sentience, and it's like a whole thing, and he realizes that he's an AI and has a bit of an identity crisis, and he goes to his friend, and he's like, well, I'm helping my friend go through a very hard time right now, and that's the realest thing that exists, in my opinion, so what if it's all fake? And I think that that's very similar to sort of the whole thing with Gummy Goo. I think that Gummy Goo is a real person in the sense that he's experiencing real human shit. And somebody's probably said this in a very much more eloquent way than I am saying right now. Yeah. Anyways, I decided to make Gummy Goo a Leafwing because, green, yellow, and brown, classic Leafwing. And I think that he turned out very nice. I had a very clear vision in mind. I completed that vision, and he looks very wonderful. Anyways, moving on to Kaufmo. Now, I figured I needed like a third character to turn into a dragon, and Kaufmo was the easiest to find a model. I do not care about Kaufmo. Like, I don't give a shit about him. Out of all of the humans that have it abstracted, I care about Queenie the most because I think the possibilities for Queenie are the most interesting. And then I care about Ribbit because Ribbit has a fun design. I do not care about Kaufmo. However, I'm pretty sure this one is from the actual show somehow. I found it on Google, and it looks pretty accurate, so I decided to, turn him into a dragon. I turned him into a Hivewing, because there's a lot of yellow and red in his design, and I figured I could use the black to sort of do, like, clown shit. I'm not sure how to, I like the drawing itself. I'm not sure how I feel about the design, but I worked with the colors that were afforded to me, honestly. Yeah, I do not care about Kaufmo. I do not. I will say he is the most, out of a character that died before the show even started, this is the strongest case of haunting the narrative I've seen since Mara from She-Ra, which, there will not be a She-Ra video essay coming. I hate to tell ya, because She-Ra is being taken off of Netflix. I just found out about this, and my family is so, obsessed with both House at the moment and football at the moment. There's not enough time in, the month it has left for me to, there's not enough weekends for me to binge watch the entire thing, and I can't pirate it, because every single time I go pirate things, it's porn ads galore, and I genuinely don't want to see that. I'm sorry. I love you guys. I do not love you guys that much. If I was getting paid, I would pirate the shit out of She-Ra. Trust me, I would, but there's other videos to be made. I'm very sorry. Anyways, yeah, I see Kaufmo's a very interesting case of haunting the narrative, and I think that he haunts the narrative very well, at least whenever he's brought up. I think Ribbit probably had more of an effect on Jax than Kaufmo did, but it is interesting that they were both friends. Now, my theory is that Ribbit and Jax knew each other, before the circus, but that's kind of my little crack theory, if that makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if it was true, but I'm not expecting it to be true, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know what to say about Kaufmo. There's nothing you can say about Kaufmo. There's more that you can say about Bubble than Kaufmo. Kaufmo has nothing going on. I'm sorry. Anyways, I'll see y'all next Friday.